changing up their tactics for sure, going for the signature hero, going to be played by Nier most likely on that secondary support role.
And on the other side, Syncc picking up the Andromeda, one that's been, they've actually banned themselves a considerable amount of the time. And as you had said earlier, Andro definitely a strong tri-laning hero. We'll have to see if they do intend to use that one right away. And speaking of the bans, Parasite, Ophelia, Warbeast, and Moira all being taken out here. So Insania banning out the Warbeast, even though he's seen very little success so far at this event.
Yeah, it's surprising because D-Dog played it twice as well, and both those times Syncc Esports more or less just ran over them. And same thing kind of went, or kind of, yeah, same thing more or less happened last game. So yeah, indeed, good point by you making that up. But by banning the Warbeast, why would you do that? Is it the Behemoth factor that they are afraid of the combination? No, I don't see that. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either, but here it comes. The Andromeda into the Fade. Definitely something strong that they've been running in the past, utilizing possibly Mickey on that second support Fade. We saw it in game 1 against Dog. Didn't have so much success, but they were telling us that was just a warm-up. Maybe
yeah, that's
warming up
usually
for
what
this
Syncc
game.
runs, right? Losing the first game and then they come back and win the second one. That's why they didn't make it in Thailand. You know, it was just best of one. They didn't have that warm-up game. But now Dreamhack Summer, there's best of threes only, so they are back into business and they're looking strong in game number 3. Fade coming out. Offensive tri-lane, very likely.
I think it is indeed, and of course that is one way to shut down one of the star players here in Imba but he picked Puppet Master anyway. He's like, screw you guys. I'm going to play Puppet Master and beat your tri-lane or dodge your tri-lane. I'm still going to get farm, and I'm going to out-carry you because I'm Imba.
That he says. Behemoth, by the way, is a very good hero to counter the early aggression. You cannot dive the towers when there is a Behemoth standing around with a Fisher, because that's going to return, or that's going to secure kills for recent gaming instead. And if you run offensive tri-lanes, getting kills against you is devastating. There's so much time needed for you to run back down to that lane. So Syncc Esports, as they were playing D-Dog, they lost 3 heroes before the game even began. If they were to do the same versus Reason here, then more or less the same scenario is going to happen. Reason Gaming is going to have a really good time. But there's the Tremble. That hero has had a lot of success lately in this event as well. I think it was MMR playing it versus Dreed, having 600, 500 gold per minute every single game. They like this hero, and Flensmeister, of course, plays it perfect, as well as Kieso, so we can't even say for sure where Syncc is actually going to run this one.
Yeah, I think I might expect it to actually be played by Casey, possibly safe, just because of the potential for the aggressive tri-lane, and then maybe throw Flensmeister into that tri-lane as well. But Flens could even play it safe, and then have Keizu farming in the aggro tri-lane or whatever tri-lane they happen to set up. But there's certainly a lot of possibilities. A big advantage for the guys in Syncc, making sure that they're not giving away their lanes. A really smart draft. Loving it so far.
I think it's I think it's leaning towards Mickey playing the Fade at least, because usually when they pick up this hero, it is Mickey playing that secondary support Fade. That's usually the case when Syncc goes for offensive tri-lanes, and then they have slapped in that mid lane on, for example, a Shipper. We saw Bombardier versus D-Dog earlier today. So something in those kind of lines I'm expecting here from Syncc coming out for their 4th pick.
Now that Rhapsody, definitely another strong defensive support. That could be their defensive tri-lane.
That it could be,
right then and there.
I would probably give the edge to Reason Gaming, no matter what Syncc Esports picks up at this case, or at this point.
Yeah, that is extremely strong. The stun combination, the CC potential in that lane, as well as the damage. Just pretty damn overwhelming in general. So
yeah, the armor value on Rhapsody, like you cannot beat her, especially not with a low-ranged auto-attack hero like Andromeda. It's just not going to work. So they're probably just going to have to run a Fade in the mid lane instead. If they were to still man up, this, I don't know, it's questionable. Syncc Esports, they have drafted themselves into a little bit of a corner, I feel. They don't have too many options. I would feel very scared to man up in a game like this.
I think I'm right there with you, and you got to start thinking about what are the other options. If you know that the opposing team is built to tri-lane, how can we then tinker with our team to try to dodge the tri-lane. And of course, the strengths of that tri-lane is going to be the early advantage there in the lane. The weaknesses is going to be that you're going to be very underleveled. So maybe some global presence, maybe some really strong ganking presence to take advantage of those underleveled supports could be something that Syncc goes for. And then maybe even split into like a 1-2-2 situation or even a jungler.
There comes the ban on Chipper, by the way. So they feel it, Reason Gaming. Nice respect ban, Slap bringing it down as well. Love to hear it. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Last time it was actually versus Slap actually ran the Chipper versus Reason Gaming. I think that was in the Deadeye Bounty League. They ran it versus Thunderbringer. It's going to be a Pharaoh instead. Pharaoh. Yeah, probably just going to adapt the draft to the situation in that case. Andromeda, or I mean Insania, is that kind of drafter. He's like the one that comes to mind when it comes to adapting your draft to the situation. Like, he's just such a loose drafter. Syncc Esports are able to run every single lineup, so he doesn't necessarily mind changing his mind mid-draft.
Well, on the other side over here, they now have to think about, with Pharaoh in mind, is Rhapsody and Behemoth going to be able to zone those out? Or are they going to be able to zone them out even just with one so that they're able to get pulls off, able to get some experience, and make sure that they don't get too underleveled just trying to zone out the Pharaoh? Or do they decide themselves to go something like a 2-1-2 situation and allow the Behemoth maybe even to go into the offlane or do a little bit of roaming, something along those lines?
Flux still untouched, by the way. I would see him as a very likely candidate in this game, especially with the Behemoth combination. And the Rhapsody protect the Melody. It could work very well. Does very well versus Tremble and Pharaoh if he were to go up versus either of these heroes in 1 versus 1 situations. 1 second left, it's going to be Drunken Master.
So, Drunken Master being picked up all 3 games so far in this series.
He so far haven't won one, though.
Yeah, very interesting indeed. Of course, I believe Behemoth doing significantly better. And this is one of Quincy's least favorite heroes when it actually comes to the stats. I don't think the guys at home are able to see those stats, but currently looking at 39% win rate. That's very low.
It's going up, though, I believe. I think it started off like 25 or something a few weeks back. But 39, I mean, it's all right-ish. I don't know.
Engineer picked up, so it does look like this is going to be a core fade. But you got to look at this lineup and say, where is their late-game scaling? There's almost none of it. So Syncc, they are going to have extremely strong presence.
This is the offensive tri-lane with an Engineer Fade Andromeda. I don't see any other option. Like, you can, like, why? I just don't see why you would ever pick up Andromeda if you want to babysit a Tremble. It doesn't make any sense. Not versus a Drunken Master who can easily stagger disjoint your comets down. We'll wait and see. Maybe that's still the case. Maybe they want to play it safe, but I wouldn't be surprised to actually see an offensive tri-lane. Mick is playing the Fade, by the way, and Engineer is being played by Slap, so it's not going to be slapped in a 1 versus 1 situation at least.
It is not. We'll have to see what the actual laning situation does end up being here, Znui. And all I know is this is our last game of the night. The guys over there, they are pumped to actually be getting out and finishing these groups, finding out who their opponents are for tomorrow, and of course getting back to the hotels to get a little bit of rest right now. It looks like the guys from Syncc are going to be making their way up into the top lane. Pharaoh going to be the one with the Ward of Sight currently.
Let's see, bottom archers, he wants to get up here fast to get that ward spot or that pull camp blocked. Is he gonna make it in time? He's feeling the pressure right now. He was close to, he probably could have ran in there, but he didn't really dare to.
On the backside, Drunken Master with a very nice ward. I actually like that one quite a bit. He's going to be able to get quite a bit of farm in the safe lane just by virtue of having that vision. Although Andromeda does have 1 sentry ward, if she does want to go ahead and drop that. She's kind of
trolling around a little bit.
She's running all of her items over to the opposite side of the map. And I like that Tremble actually dropped the mound all the way up in the top lane so that he can go for an easy rotation if he needs to.
Yep, that Pharaoh wall definitely suits very well together with the Tremble gank. Mikke and Slap's actually going to be positioned in the mid. I don't think these two players are usually laning together, like at any point. It's always Mickey and Insania. So it's going to be interesting to see how Slapped and Mickey actually fares up here. What are they going to be up versus? They're going to be up versus a dual ranged, a Puppet Monster and Rhapsody. There's going to be a lot of action.
That is some strong harassment. But at the same time, if Fade's able to get off a stun, NG follows it up with a turret into a keg. I mean, that could absolutely be a kill. One way or the other, there's going to be a lot of action, as you said here, in the middle lane. Now, bottom lane, Antro and Tremble. I mean, they're going on a Drunken Master already. 75% HP, going to go ahead and lunge on away. But this is so hard for our Andromeda to actually zone this by herself. And you can even see, Drunken Master's like, dude, I came to lane with 300 gold worth of regen. You're an Andromeda. Just stop.
You can't box me out. And look at the top lane. They actually choose to run Thunderbringer in the safe lane with a babysitting Behemoth. What?
That's odd, man. These teams are trying out some crazy strats.
And yeah, Kiss, who got his pole camp blocked, so unfortunately for Near, his stack is going to fail. And is he going to be able to get the pull off at least? Fire Ogre, yeah, it's going to be stacked. So he's going to get a little bit of experience at least, but usually when you play the secondary Behemoth, he usually like takes the first creep wave and run it all the way into the force, you know, is denied completely. But in this case, Pharaoh, by the way, going for Marches level 1, so he's not very tanky, but he's going to have the mobility, so he can easily cover the runes at the top lane.
Easily able to cover those runes and, of course, escape the harassment coming in from a melee support in the Behemoth. But speaking of those runes, Andromeda going to be heading toward the bottom lane, while there is a three-way race up top. Slapped going to be the first one to get there. Behemoth is there as well, but the illusion rune is going to be secured, and Engineer's going to be able to put in quite a bit of damage onto the Behemoth.
Barrow's coming in as well. This might be... No, never mind. He's going to be fine.
Going the opposite direction, and it doesn't look like Fade can go for the stun either. Time to just head back to the middle lane and grab some farm.
Andromeda is actually taking quite a lot of pressure by Rhapsody while that was going on, but in the end, Insana is going to be fine. He's going to pop his health pot.
The bottom lane, Tremble certain on 13 and 5 by way of CS. I think that's the highest, but middle lane, Behemoth with a nice block, and Fade looks like she will go down. Bloodlust coming in, a turnaround kill perhaps. Behemoth is going to fall. That one going out to Slapped. And they're going to be trying to get a kill on the Slapped as well. Rhapsody is going to survive. Slapped not so lucky.
Well played once again by Recent Gaming. That coordination between the puppet between the Behemoth and the Puppet Monster, just excellent. I love the rotation coming in from there. He's getting the extra experience now that's needed for him to actually run in that babysitting role. I assume that Rhapsody is going to take care of the warding, so he's just like looking to go towards that porky timing during the laning phase, just soak up as much gold as possible, get as much levels, and just continue to put pressure on that mid lane. They want to shut down this Fade. They do not want him to reach level 6, because as soon as he does, he can get easy pickups and easily set them up with both the Tremble, would of course have the mount, but also the Pharaoh ultimate.
A lot of different options for actually setting up those ganks, but not much denial coming in by way of the EXP just yet. But these teams just going to be kind of sitting back and trying to get their farm in. The one big rotation did yield the 3 kills, but for now, it looks like they're just going to be content to sit back a little bit more.
Looks that way. Look at the bot room, by the way. There is some initiation onto Engineer, but the Fade's done.
Oh, a big turret going to be coming in. They should be able to get the Rhapsody. No, she's going to be able to escape. And Slapped is actually going to be the one going down. Pharaoh Rocket going to be coming on in. Zane is going to dodge the last auto attack here. Doesn't look like Tremble is going to be able to catch on up. Behemoth blocking Fade on the wrong side. And he could be in some trouble. No, double damage. They don't actually want to get into range to get those big Fade DD auto crits.
Oh, damn, that was, once again, well played by Reason, of course. That block by Fisher, by Near, just showing how much experience he has with Behemoth. It is every single time, like, that wall is spot on. Up at the top lane, by the way, Pharaoh not doing too shabby at all. He was starting off at that 1 versus 2, but he's up at 260 gold per minute, and he's already level 5. Just imagine him getting that level 6 mark this early on. I'm pretty sure that he can solo kill the Thunderbringer at this point.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that he can as well, especially with the mana battery that has quite a few charges, continuing stack charges. as the Arc Lightning spam is coming on out. But they're going to go for a kill on Pharaoh before Pharaoh actually hits level 6 himself.
Look at the setup up here, though. There goes the Raptor Pharaoh, but Reason are ready for it.
They were indeed, but Pharaoh is going to be in some trouble himself. Maybe, maybe not. The Hellfire not going to be enough to get the kill just yet, but the auto attack is. And there's the big mana battery, and I think he's just getting away.
They might even want to turn it around. They got a cake up, or he's going to connect. Staggers and cooldown.
Yeah, but Pharaoh not quite able to get into range. If the Keg had been a little bit better placed, then they might have been able to knock him backward, but not quite perfect enough. Now, Behemoth walking on in there, just going for a little bit of a scare tactic. Didn't really have any backup, but backup has now arrived. The Thunder Monkey riding the TP highway all the way to the top lane.
That is Thunderbringer soon level 6 as well, which means that they can start using his ultimate for those gank attempts. Now you need to be really careful in the mid if you're Fade, because Puppet wasn't just hit level 6, he's looking for that kill, I would assume. No, Fade, you need to be careful.
Yeah, not level 6 himself, so has to be very, very careful. Nobody else could be coming in for the rotation though, so doesn't hurt too bad if there's not somebody coming in from behind.
Nice heads up by Insania, but they are looking for it. You can see Puppet Monster. It's like every single time Fade goes up for that kill, he's just, you can see Puppet Monster trying for the Puppet Show. Unfortunately, not having the range for it. Pharaoh got the Wrath as well.
Yeah, he's got the Wrath of the Pharaoh. Going to go ahead and make his way on in. Traps him inside the wall of mummies. Behemoth is there. There's the Thunder Monkey ultimate, but Puppet Master is still going to be the one going down.
And here's the Boris. They're going to continue on to Behemoth.
Oh, they're going to try to grab him. Nier could be in some trouble. The Dark Swarm going out on Tremble, but it's not going to be enough. The Pharaoh Rocket pushing the enemy team back, but Syncc Esports still with a dominant lead here. 7 minutes in, already grabbing up almost 2,000 experience. They're looking pretty solid.
Yeah, they are. Looking really good. Thunderbringer on the safe lane, of course, reaching that 300 gold per minute now, but is it really going to matter? Is it really going to be a big deal? I mean, everything that Thunderbringer needs is levels. He's not really too dependent on the gold per minute. Sure, he can pick up a Grimoire, he can pick up spell shards and even a spell sounder, which is going to make him very, very dangerous. But it's quite some time before he can actually reach that timing. And usually you want level 2 ultimate, maybe even level 3 ultimate, before you like even hit those items.
But at the same time, I mean, it's a strong, strong hero going up against the enemies over here. They have at most one Shrunken Head Carrier, natural Shrunken Head Carrier in the Tremble. Nobody else really is looking to pick that one up other than maybe the Fade. And of course, with 3 melee cores, I mean, that's going to be a lot of damage going around from the Arc Lightning, from the Thunder Rod as well. So I think that when they do actually force the engagements, this Thunderbringer is going to be the one putting out a ton of damage, and the ones that's really going to be a big deterrent for Syncc actually diving too far.
Oh, here comes the
Wrath. Rhapsody gets caught up by the Wrath of the Pharaoh, and she's very dead. On the backside, Fade with the stun onto 2. Not able to actually bring anybody down, although Andromeda going to be coming on in. The Keg on the wrong direction. Behemoth's there with the stun, blocking off the enemy team, and Mickey looking like he wanted to go deeper, but not quite able to get through those trees.
Yeah, they should probably stick with playing it safe. This Drunken Monster, by the way, has once again had 0 impact. I don't know why they keep stressing this hero. It just doesn't like doesn't have a place in this game, I feel. It's good versus the Pharaoh. He can jump off, he can easily sidestep or disjoint the coming from Andromeda, and of course the Keg as well from Engineer, but look at Sain's gold per minute. It's a 140 gold per minute. He deals 0 damage so far. So as long as Fade gets level 6 now, which he just reached for a little bit ago, I just don't know how Elite or Hellborn team are going to be able to counter-initiate. They don't have anything solid unless they get a Polky on Behemoth. And he's the main support, or he was run as the babysitting support at least, up in the safe lane. So he's at 400 gold right now. He's got such a long way to go for the Polky timing.
Gonna need quite a bit more farm indeed, but both these teams, they don't seem to be in too much of a rush. Right now, the Hellborn team, I think they're doing a little bit better job of taking their own jungle. The enemy team over here, they don't really have anybody that's able to take the jungle, with the exception of that Tremble, and he's just doing the static farm, safe lane farm thing down here, whereas on the other side, they've been stacking up. The Thunderbringer's been able to get a little bit done right there, in addition to the Puppet Master, who's just the natural jungler on this team. And of course has just picked up a Steam staff. So one
look at the Fade
for the Invis. But speaking of Invis, Fade indeed is going to be able to get on out of there. Reflection says, get me out.
And he's going to be able to make it through. Of course, that ability granting him tree walking. And Drunken Monster on the other side might not be as lucky.
Yeah, he certainly is not. Behemoth is going to go for the stun right here. If he's able to get a couple more autos off, that would be a kill, but not quite able to get on in there, and Thunderbringer ultimate is used already. They do grab a tower up in the top lane as Imberboy continues to farm exceedingly well.
That is 400 gold per minute, almost on a Puppet Monster. What carry option? They have Flensmeister closing in on the Funicle, and of course when he hits that, he is going to start speeding up his gold per minute, but up until that point, Puppet Monster doing a great job. If he can get the Assassin's Shroud before the Thunderclaw actually hits as well, and might be able to even break or delay the Tremble Thunderclaw by 1 or 2 minutes, that's going to be big by Recent Gaming. They need a Polki on Behemoth though. That's like the main issue right now. I feel like they need to create space somehow for him. He's down here at the bot lane, more or less just sitting behind Drunken Monster, making sure that he doesn't get dived once again, but he needs to be at the top lane. He needs to get the lane back, or maybe even take the mid. I don't know. He needs to somehow get his Polki timing up, because otherwise they're not going to have any initiation.
All right, now the Drunken Master is taking the farm down. They're not going to be allowing any to his good buddy Behemoth. On the other side, I mean, Fate's just not really able to get a whole lot herself. Not going to be close to any kind of a portal key there. But they, of course, do have much better initiation with the Pharaoh just having the inherent Wrath of the Pharaoh there on his ultimate.
Yeah, they do. And they got a Fate, of course, as well, who's level 7 now. He's got an ultimate up and running. Where is Andromeda? Level 6 as well. Insane actually doing a really good job at getting that experience this early on. Rhapsody is still stuck at level 5, so this might be a good opportunity for the Legion team to actually push. Engineer is level 6 as well, while Behemoth is stuck at level 4, so the supports, their experience gain is significantly higher on the Legion side.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot better of a job of divvying up the farm. I mean, overall, it looks like they do have a slightly better experience advantage, a lot of that because of the early kills and the pressure that they've been able to assert. But they've also been spreading out that farm a little bit more evenly.
Look at this, by the way, Veil Rot Gang coming in at the bottom. They're looking for that kill on Tremble, and this is exactly what I want to see before he hits that Thunderclaw timing. If they can delay it with just a little bit, it's going to be so significant for their side.
Will they get it? They certainly are trying. There's the staccato stun, but Andromeda is there.
Well
she will be
played.
the consolation prize, but that's her job.
Yeah, that was well played by Insane. Once again, real nice heads up. He did the same thing not long ago in the mid lane when Puppet Monster just hit level 6. So yeah, Insane are really keeping his mind fully running, just predicting Recent Gaming's movements over and over again.
Speaking of that Thunderclaw timing, though, Tremble does pick that up, immediately heads into the jungle where he had a triple stack, and actually 2 triple stacks and a double stack. So able to get quite a bit of farm right here, going to be able to very quickly hit level 10 and maybe even 11 coming up in just 1 second. Fade going to be doing a little bit of scouting herself, but not quite going to be able to find anybody, just opening up on a creep for shits and giggles more than anything else.
Yeah, poor little creep. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where they're going to go for here. They're probably waiting for the Shroud on Puppet Monster, which is going to hit in about 200 gold. So should be shortly picked up here. Maybe even Behemoth can assist in a kill onto Engineer up here in the top lane.
Doesn't look like he's able to find one just yet. The Engineer is just being so cautious. Really fallen pretty far back in terms of utilizing that turret to pick up the CS rather than getting nice and close in right there to actually get the auto attacks off. Not quite as efficient, but a whole lot more safe.
Look at this though, Imberboy on Puppet Monster. He picked up in this rune, so even if he doesn't have the Assassin's Shroud, he still has the same effect now for about 40 more seconds. Fade. Did Legion team? Yeah, Legion team spotted. They spotted the fact that he picked up the Invis runes, so they're going to stick close to the Word of Revelations. They're going to stick close to each other.
Smart heads up play right there. And now it's going to be Tremble putting some pressure on the Homeborn bottom tier 1 tower. No counter pressure being applied just yet. It looks like Zane may be the one to apply that onto the middle lane, but
Oh,
Fade,
are they looking to defend this? No. Why are they even down here then? I don't get why Puppet Monster is down here if they're not looking to defend that. He should just be busy farming. He's so close to the Assassin's Shroud. Why would he waste time sitting around doing nothing?
Yeah, maybe they thought they were going to go for the defense and then canceled it in the last minute. Not entirely sure, but I agree with you. That's a lot of wasted time coming in from the guys from Reason Gaming. Time that they need to allocate to their hyper carry into Void.
That I need. At least they are giving some time for Nier to actually farm over the Porky. But just when I speak about that, he's gonna get gone on. He got the Shockwave though, if he wants to use it. Pharaoh is behind though with the craft.
And there's the Wrath of the Pharaoh. And there's going to be 3 here, so it looks like Keizu should fall. He's very tanky, though. And Drunken Master's not even able to get the lunge off as a result of the Hellfire. And Pharaoh going to be trying to TP on out of there. Not going to happen. Not in a million years. I think that he actually could have, if he had not fired off the rocket.
Yeah, possibly. I don't think Reasons Gaming were sure of where his location was. But
they used the space created, though. They grabbed the tower in the middle lane, and that's definitely a very big acquisition.
that it is. Thunder or Tremble. Yeah, closing in on the BKB, which is actually going to be his secondary item. So definitely respecting the magic damage from the Hellborn team. Even though Behemoth is not close to a BK or a PK by far, I mean, Tremble can't possibly know that, so he's just going to be better safe than sorry, but he could have afforded to go for a little bit more of a greedy item like a Firebrand or something like that.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. The farming items that are going to allow him to push out faster are always useful, but he opts not to go for it, at least just yet. And let's face it, I mean, eventually he's going to need that shrunken head.
That is. Fun to bring it, by the way, his farm kind of dropped off. It hasn't increased at all since the laning phase. He's just not able to find the kills. And if he's not able to find the kills, well, his experience gain is going to drop as well. Behemoth stuck on level 6. No Porky even close by. Drunken Monster, what does he have to offer in those teamfights? Absolutely nothing. He got one launch, but that comes with no damage. It's once again up to Ivaboy on this Puppet Monster to perform and carry his team.
He's done it before. We'll see if he can do it again. He's currently sitting on just that Assassin's Shroud, although I think... Does he have anything being delivered? No.
The Puppet Monster? I think he recently got a Shroud, so...
He got the Shroud like 3 minutes ago, so I'm just wondering where his gold is.
Maybe he didn't have the missing investment before.
Could be very possible. Now, on the other side here, Zlapt has just picked up a portal key. 18-minute, sub-18-minute timing for a portal key on Engineer. I mean, you can't really ask for much better out of your force support.
No, Slap doing a terrific job so far, finding gold per minute. Even better than Behemoth at this point. Behemoth has 1 point or 1,050 gold left on his portal key. And Slap's already got a timing. Of course, he didn't go for the Striders, he didn't go for anything, he just rushed that naked portal key, but it's going to be worth it.
Fade could be looking for this Behemoth. And the Shockwave was already used, so they know there's not a huge risk. Multiple TP is going to be coming on up. They need Pharaoh's Rocket to actually secure this one, but it's not happening, at least just not yet. Oh, and here comes Tremble, going to be popping the Shrunken Head immediately.
But he can't hit him, he's going to be kited, he's going to go down. Where's the support? Engineer is here with his Porky, but Assassin's Shroud, they're going to find Tremble. The Wrath of the Pharaoh, it's still up though.
And he might go ahead and use it, but here comes Drunken Master, Untouchable activated, and Engineer is going to go down. Pharaoh going to grab 2, but he's in the middle of 5. What is he doing? Keizu?
That was
so sloppy by the guys over here on the Syncc squad, and Reason is going hard.
They are more than happy with that trade, getting 2 kills and Behemoth even surviving. He is close to the Porky timing now. And yeah, I don't know, that was very questionable. And once again, Flensmeister just showing that BKB, it was a little bit too early. He couldn't I mean, even if he had a BKB, there's just no way that he can catch the Thunderbringer. He has the Ghost Marchers, while Tremble has Steamboats. So unless you got a Firebrand and extra movement speed, you're not going to be able to kill anyone anyway.
So Reason bringing it back right there a little bit. We were worried about how they were actually going to be able to deal with the opposing team. Well, they relied on him making a little bit of a mistake right there. All of a sudden, you grab level 11 on some relevant heroes. Your Thunderbringer going to be very close to level 11 as well. Going to start doing a seriously considerable amount of damage. He finished up a tableau of command for some mobility. Pharaoh maybe being nullified just a little bit right there. And it becomes like a 4 protect 1 on both sides at this point. One is a little bit more initiator heavy on the Legion side, and of course Reason a little bit more defensive support heavy. But they both are looking to protect those cores.
Yeah, look at Legion though. They fear the late game of the Hellborn. They know for a fact that they need to make something happen. Therefore, they are grouping up once again. They're making it quite obvious as well. And Recent Gaming are the kings of counter pushing. So straight ahead they go to push in the mid and of course the bottom as well. Drunken Monster, look insane. He picked up himself Skull now as well. So he's going to be able to do the counter pushing even better now.
Yeah, a very strong item for actually knocking down those towers with your team as well. And that's something that Reason really desperately needs, some kind of tower pushing presence, because right now they only have one. The bottom lane is actually untouched, where there are 3 Reason members currently. We've got 4 and nearly 5. They're gonna try to go for the kill right here on a Drunken Master. It looks like it should be successful by all means. Flat picking that one up, puts him to 2, 3, and 4. In the backside here, Pharaoh going in. Thunderbringer gonna pop off his ultimate.
Nice
Behemoth stun, really, really nice. Should have been able to get the kill onto Pharaoh, but as you said, the swap doing work.
Was that a buyback? No, nobody died. Okay. I was confused for a second, but it seems like Pharaoh actually made it out. Yeah, nice swap on Insania. Gonna keep the momentum alive. So far, slapped on this engineer or his Polki timing hasn't had too much of an impact. I expected him to get more of that team fight heavy presence, but so far just haven't happened. They've just been more or less rotating around the map, trying to catch Reason off guard, but Reason Gaming have been doing a really good job. Now they got a tablet as well on Final Bringer, so the Pharaoh effect more or less dropped off.
Now, Puzzle Box level 1 being picked up here by Keizu. A very strong item, especially for the invis detection. But overall, do you think this is the best item right now that Pharaoh could have gotten?
Let's see. I mean, map control is going to be very important. They got 2 supports here at the Legion side, 2 relatively, well, 2 heroes that are going to taper off a little bit, at least when it comes to damage, when it comes to the late game. And here we go, initiation of the Drunken Master.
In a lot of trouble, gonna stagger right on through. Now, Boy trying to finish off the puppet right here. I don't think it's actually going to be enough damage. And he cleans up the Puzzle Box minions. Taking a little bit of damage, a big stun coming in, but down goes Mickey, and Rhapsody going to be trying to protect her teammates.
Nice
she
again,
needs
nice
to
wall.
save herself, though. A big fissure block going to be coming in. There's the speed boost coming in for Rhapsody, but it's not going to be enough as Syncc walk away with a nice 2-for-1 trade.
That they do once again, just making sure that they're using the Pharaoh plus the Fade combo to its fullest potential. I mean, Mickey is just doing it such a great job, and he just has that level 1 ultimate as well, so the cooldown is relatively large. It's up at 90 seconds, but if he hits level 11, it's going to be even more powerful. He and Pharaoh is just going to be rotating around the map constantly, just looking for those pickoffs, and it's only the Thunderbringer that has the tablet so far, so if they catch anybody else, it's more or less going to be a kill.
Yeah, of course, that initiation so strong with the follow-up of Fade as well. But the big thing right now that I'm seeing is the Bound Eye purchase on Andromeda. They're looking to take the map entirely.
I like that. With the Puzzle Box, with the Bound Eye.
Yeah.
What are you going to do if you're Reason? Somehow, you need to get a pick off on Andromeda, I think.
Yeah, like we said, I mean, this is a timing-based composition. This is not a really strong scaling composition coming out for the guys of Syncc. They need to be able to actually take these down, but... Ooh. Funspeister's never played Tremble.
What?
Interesting.
In a competitive game, he's never played Tremble? Damn, I didn't know that.
I seem to recall him playing one maybe a year or 2 ago. That might have been before Quincy Stats, though.
Probably.
I remember Super KGE playing Tremble, and then they moved it to Flensmeister in early 2013, I think.
Nice. It's so late here in Sweden, and you still remember those kind of facts. Nice.
Well, it's because it's about Lions. I'm a huge Lions fanboy. Hanskin's over there somewhere. I saw him. Hanskin and Seal Kid, I believe. Oh my god.
Yeah, they were here. The
Love
entire
those
Ninjas and Pyjamas team, more or less, saying hello earlier today. And yeah, by the way, they took the Swiss championships in Dota 2, so congrats to them for
Not bad.
pulling that off.
Always got to cheer on our fellow Han brethren.
Of course.
Thunderbringer ultimate just going off for a little bit of scouting information.
Yeah, they
right
should have
there.
seen the Fade, but they're still...
Fade is going to go ahead and get this kill on Rhapsody. Maybe not.
Oh my god.
It's going to be up to the Rocket. It is going to be up to the Rocket. We're going to do our best to track this.
Where it is. Oh my god, he actually gets it!
I tracked that the whole way. I'm the best.
Well played by Kizu, the timing.
What are you talking about? Well played by me.
Yeah, well played by you as
The
well.
camera
But
work
you
is
know,
out of control. For being 1:30 in the morning, the camera work, but that was impressive. Like we got to say that about Keizu. Absolutely, enough joking around. A really impressive snipe right there by Keizu, and of course on the other side he had Tankafet, who was like, I don't have faith in Keizu to hit this. I'm just gonna go ahead and walk straight home.
Because they definitely knew the fact that there was a tournament in Seoul somewhere around, but yeah, it just seemed like he didn't care. He's like, yeah, it's too hard to hate.
Didn't go for any jukes or anything. I mean, in any case, it's only a level 9 Rhapsody. There's no experience actually being handed out. In the end, not that big of a deal, but still rather impressive. Pharaoh in some trouble in the bottom lane, though. Behemoth showing off that shiny new portal key. Drunken Master actually gets credit for the kill. Now, Fade is tracking 2 here. Needs to fall back, though. The rest of his team going to be hanging out in the middle lane. Going to be applying some pressure onto that tier 2. But looks like Reason is going to come back now. They want to defend this.
Yeah, there's no point in giving up towers at this point. I don't feel like they need to sit in their base and wait. They're just going to give Syncc Esports even more map control, and that's the last thing that Reason wants right now. Seeing the puzzle box and the bound eye, of course, on the Legion side. Actually, Tremble is the one carrying the bound eye around. Interesting.
Yeah, they transferred it over to him in the last couple of minutes, and of course, he's picked up an item by the name of the Basher. A strong anti-carry item if he's able to get on top of the Puppet Master himself. Should be able to bring him down pretty well. And here's Andromeda going for a stun onto Rhapsody. Thunderbringer ultimate could be going off here, and it looks like it will be a kill on Rhapsody. Engineer ult covering their escape as well. But a lot of big ultimates blown right there for just a Rhapsody kill on both sides.
The energy field more or less prevented the beam of Shockwave from jumping in, or the beam of jumping in with the Fissure. Of course, Shockwave wasn't cooldown. Maybe the Syncc just wasn't sure about that. But yeah, precautions definitely used for Slab. I think it was a good one though.
Yeah, I think that better safe than sorry in this situation. It definitely may apply. And once more, Fade going invis. Level 11 on Fade means that she does have that invis a considerable amount of the time. Not nearly as frequently as the level 16, but a considerable amount of it. I think it's like 35 every 50 seconds. I gotta check. All right, 35 every 75 seconds. So
good enough.
About half.
Yeah, it's gonna shape up good with Wrath of the Pharaoh at least, which is have a cooldown of 60 seconds. So they're gonna be able to use it together every single time.
Veil of Discord being pumped out there. And scouted a little bit by the ward that is in the enemy jungle. But they clear out a Tremble Mount, which is nice because those are always annoying.
That they are. And you should definitely not underestimate them. Every single time you see a Terramon, you should just kill it straight off.
Unless you're at risk for dying as a result of killing the Tremble Mount.
That goes.
With a Tremble this large, I think just about anybody would be at risk for dying.
Yeah, with a Pharaoh around the corner and a Fade running around non-stop. I guess you're right. Pharaoh, by the way, picking up that puzzle box level 2. Recent gaming setting up at the top. Assassin's Shroud gonna happen. Word of Revelation placed by Tankafet. Are they gonna spot his Fade? I think they are.
Looks like they will. Not gonna be able to get the staccatos off just yet. And he does go ahead and make his way on out of there with the portal key. Did he drop that one, or did the Rhapsody actually just do no damage?
She dealt no damage. As long as the Fade is moving, it just danced for. She wasn't able to get the staccato off, unfortunately.
Yeah, she got the staccato off. That's a kill 100%, but they didn't expect Fade to go the direction that she did. All three players move to the left while Fade goes to the right. And without a push stick or something like a portal key, Rhapsody's just not able to get in range for that stun. But here we go. Reason bringing 3 players into the bottom lane, including both cores. And they're going to be attempting to bring down the tower down here. Although their creeps are being whittled away by Pharaoh every couple seconds.
That they are. Fade once again, rotating down here, but everyone is up smoking from Reason's side. They're gonna find Tremble, but look at the BKB!
Beautiful shrunken head timing, and down goes Behemoth. The man fight between Puppet Master is gonna be won by Tremble, and now the Wrath of the Pharaoh gonna be coming on in. Drunken Master in some trouble.
Oh
He's
my
gonna
God,
stagger
plays
out
from
the
Zeno.
wrong side. Well, the right side for him, I guess. But it looks like Boris might be able to get in range for the pin. Fade misses the stun, went for the Cole first. And it looks like that is going to be Zane getting on out of there. The transition into a tower, though, is still going to be a pretty good try for the guys at Syncc.
Oh, the rocket once again. It's not going to be enough. It's actually up to 500 HP already. Only on this fun ring, by the way, his impact, like, it has not been as what we expected it to be. Like, we were talking about it earlier, that if there's only going to be Tremble picking up the BKB, he's going to be having a great impact in this game. But so far, his farm is not very impressive. He's only been involved in 5 assists as well. No kills so far.
I agree that he's not been super impactful directly, but I think just having his presence has actually prevented Syncc from grouping up to take towers, whereas if they didn't have this hero that was able to put out this much damage, they would have forced some towers. They would have more map presence at this point, rather than still allowing a tier 2 to sit up at 30 minutes into this game.
Yeah, of course, the Blast of Lightning of his Spectrum spell is great for the map control. I think that's a good reason for why they picked up the puzzle box. And of course, the Boundary this early on as well on Syncc side. Behemoth, by the way, on the top lane is in trouble.
I would say he is indeed. Now, the Thunderbringer ultimate is going to be coming out. Dodge the heavyweight there. And is he going to be able to get the portal key off? He should be able to. The auto attacks are not going to be in range. And a beautiful PK into the TP. Man, Nero playing well.
There's been a lot of those cases lately. Like, Sane just escaped from the bot as well. And there was this big-ass Fade play earlier today with in the first game that we covered today, actually.
Yeah, the PK drop.
Yeah, MMR just bringing it out, just being surrounded by 4 heroes.
Master going to be dusted off. Going to get swapped on in stun. Energy field is going to go off as well. But the Rhapsody ultimate going to be canceled. The Wrath of the Pharaoh going to be able to take him out. And Syncc Esports with a massive initiation right now. Drunken Master should be able to get on out of here. But already 2 very big pickoffs. And here comes some more. Looks like it should be Fade. Coming on in. The call. Stun onto Behemoth. Will this be enough for a kill? The Aurora going to be going out here. One more auto attack. Should be enough. One more.
Oh, the
shockwave. But here comes the Puzzle Box minions. They get it. Drunken Master and Thunderbringer running. But here comes the call. Into the kill. No, they turn it around. And Mickey going to go down. Bound Eye going to be recovered by Pharaoh.
It's going to be up in like 2 seconds.
All right, I'm going to track this one again.
Oh my God, Keswick.
Easy track. Oh no, it's not enough damage. He survives on less than 5 HP. Wow. A crazy sequence right there, but Syncc coming out way on top.
Damn, he lost the vision of the Drunken Monster for just a second or so. That was the difference between life and death. If he would have casted that rocket, the second it went off cooldown, then he would have had Drunken. But nice juke by Sane, changing his direction and just actually being able to survive.
In any case, the 10,000, 12,000 lead here in favor of Syncc Esports makes it look like they are going to be doing pretty well. Going into this later game, I mean, what do we need to see coming out on Tremble? He picks up the wing bow here, realistically has 1, possibly 2 more item slots if he goes for a sell.
Yep, wing bow indeed. He still doesn't have the movement speed though, and I feel like that's quite crucial. He got the brutalizer, he got the wing bow, of course, a lot of damage, but when it comes to like, he's so dependent on his teammates to actually set up kills for him. He can't really solo kill anyone at this point, simply because he can't catch up with them. Oh, look at the mines, by the way, Rhapsody. What? Rhapsody runs straight over the mines, more or less.
That's a bit odd. That's unfortunate for him.
What?
I'm sure that Zlapt was really looking forward to getting that kill.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. They might have to get it the old-fashioned way. Fade going to be coming in, but this is a bait, a very clear bait with the Word of Revelation already down. They're going to go ahead and fall back into the base, though. This Puppet Master's farm has really fallen off. Not typical for Imba Boy, sitting at only 308 gold per minute, and walked right into the mines, and that's not going to help. He does go down. Behemoth is going to be able to get the block. Here comes Drunken Master. The lunge on in.
Here goes Tremble, though.
Using the ultimate from Thunderbringer for a little bit of scouting. And Tremble going to be trying to get a kill. Looks like he will. Bots even coming in from Andromeda. The post haste. TP on in.
Yeah,
hey,
talk about
nice.
a greedy support, man.
Yeah, man. Just mana boots and post haste. No problem.
No words, no sights, no Veilrot, no dust. It's a pure A.R.M.S. It's a post haste. Love it.
Imba Boy definitely having a hard time right now, and he is the only hope for this team. I mean, there are other cores. This Thunderbringer.
Oh, look at the bot lane.
He's sitting on just that tablet of command, and he's certainly going to go ahead and catch Rhapsody here. Oh, gonna have to activate the Shrunken Head,
Where's
but
the
it's on
shockwave?
cooldown. Tremble could be in a little bit of trouble. Just kidding. Turns it
Just
on around.
kidding.
And Rhapsody, you're next. No, running.
Oh, he
Running.
is next.
Oh, it's the bait. Pharaoh able to hook on in right there. Gets the kill. And just like that, we're up to 17K, 16K advantage. I'm looking at the guys from Reason, and they look a little bit down right now. The energy that they had just a couple hours ago seems all but gone, as they may be coming to terms with the fact that they might be meeting BMG in the losers bracket tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that Syncc got this game in the bag as long as they play it safe.
Fade could actually go for a stun right here, looking for a two-man stun, only going to grab Drunken Master. But still, I mean, it's a considerable amount of damage. Going to go ahead and send him to base. There was no follow-up coming in from the team, but...
Insane, by the way, level 16. Puppet Master down to level 14. This was a Drunken Master that had like 100 gold per minute after like the 10-minute mark or something like that. So yeah, it's safe to say that Puppet Master just, this game in general, just haven't worked out for Reason Gaming whatsoever. Behemoth, his pull key was way too late. They didn't have any initiation whatsoever outside of the Behemoth, and the Drunken Master, of course, haven't had an impact whatsoever either, so...
Yeah, I mean, as soon as they lost lane control at the hands of this Fade, which is pretty easy to do, I think that there was just never a safe place for Puppet Master to be farming, and that's what really contributed to him having just some pretty poor farm at this point. And now it looks like Fade might try to go for a stun on the Drunken Master here in the middle lane, but he does have the Shrunken Head available if he does need to get on out of there. And Behemoth going for a very deep aggro ward. I don't agree with that ward placement right now.
No, not at all. They should be defensive if anything. They're never going to be able to get those kind of offensive kills. And I mean, Syncc is not even farming on their own side.
Oh, wow. Puppet Master in some trouble. The keg is going to be able to interrupt. Pushes him out of the Wrath of the Pharaoh. It doesn't matter. It actually does, because he turns around and gets a counter kill. Slapped is probably giving Keizu quite the stink eye right now. Yeah. Or maybe the other way around.
Well, it wasn't easy to hit. I mean, the keg obviously pushed him away, but... That's something you have to take.
Lane. Pharaoh looking like he wants to go once more, corralling him on in. Andromeda is going to go ahead and pop
what
the
a
swap.
play from Insania.
And now it looks like here comes Fade. Drunken Master to fall. And Insania, like you said, with the beautiful swap, able to survive, turns it around with the Comet stun and picks up the kill on Rhapsody. Just like that, 3 down on the side of Reason, who has still been yet to take more than 1 Tier 1 tower.
Yeah, look at the amount of deaths on Reason's side. It's only Olmi was down on 2. Rest of them all got 5 or more.
Definitely not ideal. Nier has been hanging out in the opposing team's jungle. Not really sure at this point why, but that's where he's chosen to make his home. And Thunderbringer on the other side, he picks up a portal key to go along with the tablet of command, so looking for additional mobility, but the damage is still so lacking.
That it is. There's... yeah, I'm not sure. BKB, Abyssal Skull on Drunken Master, it's not going to help. He's not going to boost his damage whatsoever. He needs a shield breaker, he needs a bulwark, something like that. He needs a minus armor. Otherwise his physical armor is, or physical damage is just not going to be enough.
All right, so it looks like we saw a Dawnbringer. Yeah, that looks like a... Nope, it is in fact going to be a Frostwolf Skull. I was like, it's going to be a Dawnbringer, right? It needs the movement speed. Nope. Frostwolf Skull. Two of the most expensive items in the game. Similar prices. What a stat from Quincy.
Yeah. 2-0.
I'm sure he's just as tired, if not more, than us here at the venue.
Yeah, he's been at every single game, more or less. That, yeah, amazing guy. Quincy, shout out to him definitely for stepping up. And
I believe getting up at 4 a.m. to start this as well.
oh yeah, he's from US West. Or actually, he lives in US East now.
Yeah, so
But
4 a.m.
yeah.
In any case, what a guy. Shout out to Quincy. Kongor is going to drop. Level 22 Tremble, picking up the Token of Life. Don't know if I can think of many things more fearsome at that point.
Nope.
And the guys from Reason looking to mount a final defense. I'm not really sure how they go about this. It's probably going to start with a giant shockwave from Behemoth. That's
Yeah,
really
it
the
has to.
only way I can think of them turning this one around.
I don't see anything else, no. It would be Syncc overextending big time and Reason having a lot of buybacks, but as far as I can tell, it's only Drunken Monster more or less that's going to have enough for that buyback. Oh, he's gonna go for Tanka.
Yeah, just going to go ahead and put the Burning Shadows out for a little bit of damage. Say, Tanka, I know you're there.
More or less. Is
You're
this
not
poke
safe.
game? I mean, a Thunderclaw as well. Like, what's he? Wait, that's. He's. What? Whose Thunderclaw is that? Oh, he's holding it for Tremble.
Oh, it's not his own Thunderclaw?
No.
I was like, it's an interesting pickup, but yeah, holding it. So he'll go ahead and pick up the Thunderclaw himself. Once the Token of Life does expire or is consumed.
Isena is actually shouting something. Can you hear that? Like
I think
just
he's shouting Tanka. I think
yeah,
they're taunting
oh
him.
man, he's shouting Tanka over and over and over. Tanka Fett was the kind of guy who was the guy that when recent gaming played BMG, just like he went out of control. To be completely honest, like he just shouted and screamed for every single little thing, and you know, every single time recent gaming won a team fight, you know, it was insane shouts, but. And now Insane is making the point that, you know, we can shout as well. So he's just repeating Tanka over and over and over
Just
again.
getting into his head, man.
Yeah.
Especially with this much initiation between the Wrath of the Pharaoh, the Fade coming from Invis. Yeah, pretty easy to get in your opponent's head, I would think.
Oh, definitely.
And so they're just kind of wandering around right now, looking for a chink in the armor. So far, Reason's defense has been pretty stout. But eventually they should make a mistake, and that's going to be when Syncc looks to make their play.
Yeah, looking to shape up relatively soon, I would assume, with that Token of Life on Tremble. Of course, they don't want
Oh, there's the shockwave. Andromeda likely to be the first one to fall. Yes, he is down. Behemoth in some trouble himself, but Pharaoh might die. No, they turn it around on the Puppet Master. Rhapsody trying to save him, but she falls herself. Puppet going to die. Drunken Master trying to go ham right now, but it's not going to be enough. Tremble going to be able to bring him down, and Fade maybe going a little bit too deep right now. Misses the Burning Shadows. Behemoth with the stun. Fade is going to fall. Tremble actually the only one alive from his team in what turned into a somewhat of a disaster of a fight.
Yeah, nice initiation from Nair. Of course, we talked about that. That's the shockwave. That's the one thing that can actually win them the fight at this point. And, well, they pull it off. Now they just have to do the same thing four or five more times.
Make it bot out.
Yeah.
He's going to be coming forward. Behemoth could be in some trouble. The Dark Swarm going off. Will they get the damage? They do. The Basher proc is enough. And the Rax, they're in trouble. Mickey could be coming forward with the stun right now. Ownby, look out!
There's the buyback of Puppet Monster, but he's just like, nope, not gonna use it.
Rhapsody respawning. There's the Glyph going out. And Thunderbringer trying to finish off Tremble. They will. Token of Life going to bring him right back up. And the rest of his team, minus Pharaoh, is here. Pharaoh, of course, picking up the Staff of the Master right before that team fight. Didn't even get to use it.
Yeah. Unfortunately for him, always when a game is about, like always when you get those fun items, the enemy team always want to concede or hide under their base. It's always the same.
Well, in this case, the guys from Syncc do manage to snag a single melee Rax. Not a full set of Racks just yet, but enough so that there is going to be a substantial advantage there in that middle lane.
looking for that final push now, though. I would assume they still got a token up on Tremble, so as long as... No, never mind, it's gone. Damn.
And there's the initiation one more time. Behemoth going to be the first one taking some damage. Gets the shockwave off. Rhapsody trying to help him out, but gets swapped into the Engineer ultimate on the backside, though. Down goes Pharaoh. He gets all of his abilities off, and now it's going to be Puppet Master. Locked down. The keg to finish him off. Drunken Master in some trouble, and it's going to be a genocide in favor of the guys from Syncc. That's it. GG, well played. Going to be called. Your boys from Syncc Esports run once again with the 1-2 victory. They run it back with 2 in a row, and they say, oh God, it is late at night. We are very glad we get to sleep in tomorrow. They're going to be taking this short route all the way up into the winter bracket finals, where they will face off against Neolution Esports MRR for the right to make it to the grand finals and play for that big lion's share of over $55,000 and a possible Dreamhack title. Snowy, that was a hell of a way to finish the night.
That it was. Syncc Esports must be feeling really good right now. Losing the first game versus D-Dog in the first series of the day, and then losing the first game here versus Recent Gaming. Yeah, warm-up, I don't know what to call it. Syncc Esports, at least, they are going to be the winners of Group B, and they are going to advance, and they are going to get an entire day off tomorrow.
Pretty impressive stuff here from the guys of Syncc Esports as everybody from the crowd's filing on in to give handshakes and whatnot. Everybody knows it's the end of the day. They're flooding the field, basically, at this point.
They want to personally congratulate Syncc on their victory.
A strong performance as well. But ladies and gentlemen, that is actually going to do it for us here on day